Kenneth Everett Math Revolution. No pencil, no paper, no calculator. We write it on your brain before you write it on your paper. Given 2 points, you can find the slope of a line. But you have to know the way to do that is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1 equals to m, which represents the slope. Now look at this. This is the old way. This is the way that your teachers may be showing you how to do this. Well, we're going to show you how to do it with no pencil, no paper, and no calculator. First, let's take a number line. I know you've been used to looking at a number line that is horizontal, but we're going to make it vertical, straight up and down. If you count up, the number is positive. If you count down, the number is negative. Let's take an example with positive. -7 to 3, you have to count up 7 to get to 0, and 3 more to get to +3. So the total is 10, and because you counted up, you get a +10. Now let's look at an example for negative. 8 to -4, you have to count down 8 to get to 0, and 4 more to get to -4. So the total is 12, and because you counted down, you get -12. Now, given 2 points, you can find the slope of a line, no pencil, no paper, no calculator. So we have a line. Look at to the right. And a line is made up of nothing but points. We've chosen 4 points. 1, 7, 3, 11, 4, 13, 5, 15. Now remember, it only takes 2 points. So we're going to choose 2 points. 1, 7, and 4, 13. Now remember, it only takes 2 points to find the slope of the line. So first thing we're going to do, we're just going to write down m equal to and a divide sign. Now, m equals to the slope, which equals to the change in y over the change in x, which equals rise over run, which equals delta y over delta x, which equals to the rate, which equals to the m. So all of that represents the slope. Now remember, the change in y over the change in x. So the change in y from 7 to 13, you have to count up 6. So the 6 is positive. Change in x. From 1 to 4, you have to count up 3. So 3 is positive. And if we simplify 6 over 3, it equals to 2. Now, it does not make a difference which one you let be y, as long as you remember that it's y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So we have to do the y first. So we write down m equals 2 and a divide. The change in y, we're going to change it up. So we're going to go from 13 to 7, you have to count down 6, so the 6 is negative. Change in x, from 4 to 1, you have to count down 3, so the 3 is negative. Negative divided negative, positive. 3 goes into 6, 2. So it's the same. Now, I want you to follow along. I'm going to do these with you. Given 2 points, you're going to be able to find the slope of the line with no pencil, no paper, no calculator. Okay, let's start with problem number 1. But first, remember, x comes first, then y. So you remember, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to write m equals to a divide. Now, we're going to go from 3 to 4 because we're using y now. Remember, y is on top. So from 3 to 4, we got to count up 1. So we just put a 1 on top. And then we're going to draw a line, half like a little half moon. We're going to go from 2 to negative 3. Well, from 2 to negative 3, we have to go down. 2 to 0 is 2. And then down 3 more, so we're down a total of 5. So it's negative 5. The slope now is 1 over negative 5. Remember, we're going to write this on your brain before you write it on your paper. Let's look at problem number 2. We're going to go from negative 2 to 5. From negative 2 to 0 is 2. And we got to go up 5 more, so we went up a total of 7. 0 to 1, we got to go up 1. So the slope is 7 over 1, which equals to 7. Let's look at problem number 3. But first, remember, you're going to write m equals to and divide. So from 5 to 4, we have to go down 1. So we have negative 1 on top. Then we're going to go from negative 4 to 3. So we got to go up 4 to get to 0. Then up 3 more. So a total of 7. So m equals to negative 1 over 7. Let's look at number 4. M equals 2 and divide. We're going to go from 9 to negative 5. Well, we're going to be going down. Go down from 9 to 0 is 9, and then down 5 more. So therefore, we went down a total of negative 14. Now we're going to go from 6 to 3. Now remember, that's the change in x, which is going to go from 6 to 3, which means we're going to be going down 3. So it's negative 3. And a negative divides a negative is a positive. So our m equals to 14 over 3. Number 5. We're going to go from 9 to 1. Got to go down. So therefore, we're going to go down 8. So it's negative 8. The change in x, we're going to go from negative 2 to 3. So we're going to have to go up to get to 0, 2, and then up 3 more. So we went up a total of 5. The slope, negative 8 over 5. Let's look at number 6. I know you're getting good at this now. Remember, the first thing you want to do sometimes is, if it hasn't been written on your brain, you're going to draw the line, and we're going to go from 4 to 2, changing y. From 4 to 2, we got to go down. So therefore, on top is negative 2. Changing x. 4 to negative 6. We got to go down 4 to get to 0. Then down 6 more. So we went down a total of 10. So it's negative 10. A negative divided a negative is a positive. And if we simplify, 1 over 5. Because 2 goes into 2 one time and 2 goes into 10 5 times. And remember, negative out of negative is a positive. Let's look at number 7. Changing y with changing x. So we're going to, remember, we got to do the y first. We're going to go from negative 6 to 4. You've already written down m equals to, you divide. So from negative 6 to 4, we got to go up. To get to 0, we went up 6, up 4 more, 10. Now we're going to do 0 to 5. Remember, that's the change in x. So from 0 to 5, we got to go up 5. And if we simplify that, 5 will go into 10 2 times. So m equals to 2. Let's look at number 8. Number 8, we're going to go from 7 to negative 2. That means we're going to be going down. From 7 to 0 is 7. Then we're going to go down 2 more. So therefore, we get a negative 9. Now we're going to do changing x. From 2 to 3, I've got to go up 1. So m equals to negative 9 over 1, which equals to negative 9. Okay, let's look at problem number 9. We're going to be going from negative 5 to negative 8. Think about that. Negative 5 to negative 8. If you think about your number line, negative 8 is below negative 5. So we're going to have to go down 3. So therefore, it's negative 3. Let's look at 4 to 0. Well, 4 to 0, I'm going to have to go down 4. So I'll get negative 4. And remember, negative divided negative is positive. So m equals to 3 over 4. Let's look at the final one. Number 10. Remember, x come first, then y. Y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So we're going to go and write m equals 2 and divide. Now we're going to go from 1 to 4. Got to go up 3. And from negative 7 to negative 3. Remember, negative 7 is below negative 3, so we got to go up, so we have to go up 4. Now, you're going to work 10 of these problems, finding the slope of a line given 2 points with no pencil, no paper, no calculator. First, I want you to write down m equals to divide on all 10 problems. Now, you have to remember this also. It's y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Now, 0, 3 is a point. Negative 1, 4 is a point. So the x is 0 and the y is 3 because x comes first, then y. Negative 1, 4. Negative 1 is the x and 4 is the y. So you have to know that it's the change in y over the change in x. The y is on top and the x is on the bottom. That's why we only have to write m equal to and a divide, and all you have to figure out is what goes on top and what goes on bottom. And if you remember that it's y on top and x on the bottom. Now, you got the point 0, 3, and you have the point negative 1, 4. So we're going to draw the little half a moon, and it's going to go from y to y. So 3 is y, is the second one, and 4 is y for the other point because it's second. So from 3 to 4, think about the number line. Are we going to count up or down? That's for you to figure out. Now, on the bottom, we draw a little line like a moon, fourth of a moon, half of a moon, however you want to look at it. But we're going to go from 0 to negative 1. Remember, the 0 is x, so that's the change in x, and the change in x goes on the bottom. Y on top, x on bottom. While the music is playing, work the 10 problems. When the music stops, check your answers. Kenneth Everett Math Revolution. No pencil, no paper, no calculator. We write it on your brain before you write it on your paper.